Hey YouTube, welcome to another Valkyrie Connect video. My name is Hakeo, and in this video we'll be going over the mechanics and proper team building for the Connect battle Hrungnir. First off, why do we want to do his Connect, and what does his token offer? It offers this item, Hearthstone. Hearthstone offers base stat of HP and defense, with the effect of Petrify resistance and defense up. Every time you skill up this item, it increases the Petrify resistance and defense up by 5%. which makes it a really good piece for your tank as well as your backline range. Keep note that it's race specific, so only human, elves, dwarves, therians, and Jotun can equip it. Hrungnir is a melee Jotun with very high physical defense, high earth resist, moderate resistance towards light and dark, and low resistance towards fire and water. Throughout this entire guide, keep in mind that he does heal off of physical attack, meaning that you have to revolve your team around magical attack users, with the exception of your tank. As long as your magic attack is out damaging the physical attack of the tank, you should be okay. As you climb the difficulty of Hrungnir, you'll notice that he is accompanied by a set of crystal or two sets of crystal, one being a melee type and the other one being a range type. The first set of crystals, the melee crystals, is the reason why you don't want to bring melees to the Connect. It's because it puts up a barrier for Hrungnir absorbing all physical attack, and it also does earth attack damage and defense down to 2 random enemies. The second set of crystals, the ranged crystals, deal physical earth attack damage and paralyzes for 3 turns to the front hero. The paralyze is only applied towards grounded targets, unless the unit itself has some type of gear to resist the paralyze. Next we have Hrungnir's activated and auto ability. His activated ability deals physical earth attack damage and paralyzes for 3 turns to the nearest enemy row. And just keep in mind that that paralyze is only towards grounded targets. Next we have his auto ability, and this ability is the reason why you want airborne units or units that can resist his paralyze to optimize your damage. His auto ability deals earth attack damage and paralyzes for 1 turn to all heroes in the Connect. Once again, the paralyze is only applied to grounded targets. If you don't have airborne units for this Connect, or if you do have airborne units but they aren't optimized for the Connect, you can use grounded units, but just remember that you'll have to time out your ability so that they don't get paralyzed midway. Next up, I'll be going over the different types of equipments you can use for the Connect, and why you should use them as well. First up, we have Thiazi Fur Coat. The reason why you want to use this is not only because of the magic attack base stat, but it deals fire and water damage towards the target, as well as hitting 3 random targets, making it a really good Crystal Crusher. Next we have Burning Staff, just because of its pure DPS capabilities. We have the base stat of high magic attack, and it deals fire elemental damage towards the nearest enemy. The next item, Storage Ritter, has the same purpose as Burning Staff, where you equipped it mainly for its DPS capabilities, not its CC. Next we have Jormungand Bow, which gives you HP as well as magic attack as its base stat, but not only that, it's a great piece for crystal crushing since it deals water magic attack damage to the 3 furthest enemies. The next 2 pieces that I have on the list is Mossy Armor and Winged Helm. Though it's not something a mage can equip, you will want it on your tank for its high defensive value and its ability to heal your unit as well. The next piece I wanted to go over is a hero specific piece for Canon, and the reason why I included it is because of the unit's ability itself to Crystal Crush, as well as her specific gear to Crystal Crush, on top of her high fire magic attack damage. Next we have the Straw Hat, which is the equivalent to Winged Helm for your mages. I find this one of the best pieces for the Connect, since if your units are geared enough or orbed enough, they shouldn't need a healer, and you can use this in place of the heals, thus increasing the damage your team can do overall if they can sustain the incoming damage. Next we have one of my favorite equipments for the Connect, and that's the Mermaid Bikini. Not only does it give magic attack, it deals water magic attack damage and defense down for 2 turns to the nearest enemy, increasing the damage overall for each of the parties in the Connect. Lastly, we have an accessory that you can equip to Rin Tosaka, and that's her pendant. This pendant allows you to resist the incoming paralyze from Hrungnir, allowing you to keep the damage outgoing even though she's a grounded unit. And remember that these aren't the only equipments that you can use in the Connect. These are just examples I wanted to show everyone so they can get an idea of what to use for their team. You have other equipment such as the Grimoire of Accusation, Deforester, Icicle Rod, Icicle Cannon, and you have others such as Curious Mask as well. And on top of that, you want to use accessories that give you HP, magic attack, and physical defense. The last thing I'm going to go over are some example heroes to give you an idea of what to use in the Connect. First off, we have our healers and tanks. We have Baldur, Hrungnir, and Niji. The reason why I chose and Baldur is because they are the most accessible in terms of dedicated healers to get. The other one's Halloween Dune, which shows either in the Soul Trader or during the Halloween event. We have which gives a heal over time for all of your units, as well as granting a magic defense buff to the entire team for 3 turns. Though her earth resistance is low, she more than makes up for it with her current healing ability, as well as her hero specific weapon, which heals the hero with the lowest HP, and she is considered airborne, so she'll avoid all of the paralyzed CC incoming. Next we have the other healer, Baldur, who has very high earth resist, but he is grounded, which makes him susceptible to the paralyzed CC. He doesn't have a weapon that can heal any of your units, and he is considered male, so you can't equip the straw hat on him to help him stay alive to heal the team. Next we have the 2 tanks, which is Hrungnir himself and Niji. The reason why I chose these 2 tanks is their high earth resist as well as their high physical defense. Though Hrugnir's ability doesn't really provide anything to the Connect itself, his large HP pool and high defense on top of his earth resist lets him take little to no damage on the boss. Though Niji doesn't have an HP pool as large as Hrungnir, her barrier does grant her the ability to absorb the physical incoming damage for 100% of her HP. On top of that, she does have a high earth resist as well, making her one of the better tanks that you can choose for the Connect. Next up we have our DPS. Notice that each of these are mages, and one thing that they all have in common is that they're airborne, excluding Rin, who can use her accessory to resist paralyze. Nadia and Hel are similar in the fact that they are both airborne and they both have moderate earth resist. On top of that, their ability also hit crystals as well, making them a good unit to use for crystal crushing. Amaterasu is one of the best units you can use in the Connect due to her having a moderate earth resist. Her element is fire, that's including her limit burst. She's great for crystal crushing due to her hitting all enemies as well, and she grants a defense down on all enemies for 3 turns. One of the good things about Rin is not only her moderate earth resist and her ability to resist paralyze, but you can use her as a tank if she's orbed and geared enough. Lastly, we have our ranged units. Though the only one that's considered airborne in this selection is Marmalade, each of these units provides something to the Connect that's worthwhile to consider. First we have Wolfgang. Though he isn't airborne, he does have high earth resist, and his ability grants a defense debuff to either the Crystal or Hrungnir, depending which one has the highest defense at the time. His ability is an elemental base, is pure magic attack, which allows him to bypass the resistance. Next up we have Vidofnir and Kanon. These 2 units are great for crystal crushing mainly because of their ability to hit multiple targets at once. On top of that, they have moderate earth resist, and are fire base, which is one of Hrugnir's weakest elements. Lastly we have Marmalade, who is airborne, deals water magic attack damage, and has moderate earth resist. On top of that, she is able to hit 3 enemies with the highest magic attack, meaning she'll hit a combination of 2 crystals and Hrungnir. Keep in mind that these are only example heroes. There are others out there that are either better or just as good as the ones that I've mentioned. Just take a look at what you have in your heroes list and keep in mind that you want those that are either airborne, moderate to high earth resist, great for crystal crushing, and if they're the elements of water and fire. If you don't have those accessible, just use light and dark, that's perfectly fine as long as you avoid earth damage. And with that, I want to let everyone know that there is a Discord and Reddit community that you can get yourself involved in with Valkyrie Connect. I'll provide the link in the description below. If you like the video, please like the video. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. And follow me on Twitter if you want to see Valkyrie Connect Japanese news or just to see what I've been up to in the game. And until next time guys, take care.